What's good, everybody? We are back again for another episode of the No Hedge Podcast. I go by the name of Rip16, the GOAT.
Ty the Fly Jet.
And we are the mighty No Hedge Podcast duo. Make sure, very important right here, that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Because we are all the way up into week 8 of the NFL season. About the halfway mark of the season. This is a pivotal week. A bunch of bye weeks. A lot of interesting things going on throughout the league. And that means we got to talk about it. But like I said, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Anything you need to tell the people.
Not a damn thing.
Amen. I think we should hop in and discuss week 7 of the NFL season in one of our classic, wonderful, and phenomenal segments. A little segment that we like to call Takeaways. What do you got? Just talking to you.
What do I got? What do I got?
You want me to tell them what I got?
Yeah, tell me what you got.
Well, first of all, one of my takeaways, last week we talked about the insurmountable injury mountain that was plaguing the league and we discussed it at length, all these different injuries around the league and these different teams. However, it was a couple of teams that managed to bounce back off an injury mountain and put together a strong performance in their matchups in week 7. And those teams were the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. Offensively, the 49ers pretty much just used Christian McCaffrey to beat the Falcons.
Yeah. I mean, they were physical up front.
They were. They controlled the line. However, defensively, it was not expected for them to be as dominant as they were defensively and slow them down because of all the injuries and whatnot. But to their credit, the guys they found off the street seemed to go out there and play well. Yeah. They got the job done just fine. And I think it was kind of a similar case with the Detroit Lions because that secondary was so banged up. The Buccaneers wide receiver room was also banged up, but they did have Ibuka out there and they did have Mike Evans for a time frame before, unfortunately, he came back from a hamstring injury and went and broke his collarbone. So that was just a bad beat. But the Detroit Lions secondary was still, even with Mike Evans on the field and Ibuka on the field, that secondary was looking good.
Yeah, they were making plays, man.
I don't know what coach said to them. He told them this is their opportunity. This is their chance. And I guess they got fired up from his speech because they went out there and played.
Yeah, but it's it's a combination of them getting pressure up front. They were able to disrupt Baker Mayfield all night long. Yeah. Make him uncomfortable. He wasn't doing that scrambling that he was accustomed to doing in the first 6 weeks. They made sure to put some spies on him. He couldn't deliver the ball to wide open receivers because of the pressure was coming on, and the defensive backs were making plays, and that was accustomed to that front line, Aiden Hutchinson and those boys up there up front making plays and causing havoc to that offensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's where you get the success from the defensive backs. That's where you marry the pass rush with the secondary play,
No, for sure.
And that's what I think happened too in that Atlanta game with the 49ers, kind of similarly, with the trenches. As there's an emphasis on the trenches, then you can have some success when you have some players, significant players that are out.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, but I mean, even think of the plays where the ball was caught and there's a punch out, or there's an interception on a 50-50 ball with K-Dot, and it's just plays that was being made by the secondary that we haven't really seen them make, at least as of recently, prior to those games. So that was pretty impressive, at least from my eyes. It was impressive that they was coming out and they was making plays and they was out there making stops and shutting down critical third downs or swatting the pass down or just recovery speed when it looks like somebody's beat. It was a lot of impressive things I seen them doing defensively, what I didn't necessarily expect out of those injured defenses. Another takeaway that was kind of unexpected. The Eagles aired it out.
Oh man,
you talked about it last week.
Yeah,
about how Jalen Hurts is a good thrower of the football and
literally fly Eagles fly. They let that shit fly.
They let it fly. They had Smitty running deep routes. They had AJ Brown catching passes. You really just relied on your passing game more than anything. You didn't sit there and just try to run, even though we know that you all are great at running. But do you think it's something? I didn't see as many explosive plays out of Saquon, and I don't think he's going to necessarily have an explosive play every single game. But, I mean, that's kind of what we've been spoiled with out of him, expecting him to take off and run. But you do have all these other guys who you could pass it to if that's not the case that day, and they utilized it finally.
Yeah, well, I think it's a different offensive coordinator from last year, so it's going to be a whole new look, from the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's kind of what we've been seeing for the first 6-7 games of the season is an inconsistency in the run game, inconsistency in the offense. And, I mean, you got two pretty much WR1s out there, and AJ Brown and Smitty. Definitely. It's like, why not use those guys? You know what I'm saying? Smitty was a Heisman Trophy winner in college, like Slim Reaper. AJ Brown is literally like the best wide receiver in football that's unstoppable. Like, can't nobody guard him. Seems like he's fit, he's big, he's physical, he catches the ball with his hands, like breaks tackles, run after catch. Anything you ask of him, he's going to do it. Contested catches, the whole nine. So it's like, why not feed those guys the ball as much as possible? Granted, you do have Saquon Barkley, but I think a lot of times this season they came in with the intention of run first. And these defenses, they look back at tape from last year. They're like, okay, we're not going to let Saquon beat us. We don't trust your quarterback to throw the football, so we're just going to make sure that we slow down the run game. But, this recent game, Jalen Hurts has shown, hey, I can throw the ball 300-plus yards a game, if they let me.
Right.
So.
Right. I mean, and you brought up an interesting point about AJ Brown, but just as a side tangent, who do you think are like who would you name as like the top 3 wide receivers right now?
Top 3? I would say AJ Brown is up there. Golly, it depends on what I'm looking at. If you're looking at yards, you're looking at touchdowns, you're looking at just reliability. Like it depends.
I mean,
there's so many good receivers. You got you got AJ Brown, you got CeeDee Lamb. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Got NFL young boy. He's been doing his thing too.
Yeah, you got you still got Chase. Jamar Chase is still a solid top receiver in the league.
Oh, for sure. We're about to talk about that in a second.
Jettas, he's good too. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, JSN for sure.
JSN is looking unguardable. He's just looking unguardable. He's jumping up. He's high point footballs. He's beating people on the route. He's outrunning people with speed, but after getting the ball, he's making plays and getting yards after catch. Like he's doing everything you want.
JSN balling for sure.
And even in stiff coverage against good corners, he's still cooking. Like JSN might be wide receiver 1. Like out of all the wide receiver 1s, he might be that guy. right now.
But it's a week by week thing, right? Because Puka Nacua, he was the
Puka was the guy,
but he just wasn't getting the end zone as much. You know what I'm saying? But then
JSN
you had Tay Adams
touchdowns.
who was getting the end zone. You know what I'm saying? What, 2 or 3 times? 3 times this weekend?
Yeah.
So it's like, it depends on what you're looking at.
Consistently though,
yeah,
JSN has been doing
this
all
year
of that.
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Consistently, JSN been doing all that. The closest you could probably go is Puka. Prior to that, but I mean, like you said, like a week by week basis, Jamar Chase is heating up again. And speaking of Jamar Chase, real big game for the Bengals over the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football, we were critical of them like the last year or two about those games being basura, but they have definitely stepped their shit up and got a lot more competitive games,
especially the division games night. Too, in division games.
Yeah, and that division game in particular with the Bengals versus the Steelers, the Joe Flacco, 2 games in 10 days, and he had no interceptions, about 5 touchdowns. The boy doing good.
Letting it fly, bro. Quick passes.
And the thing I like about Joe Flacco on the Bengals in particular is he's not complicating football. And what I mean by that is he's doing the play that makes sense. I'm going to look for my first option. If it's not there, I'm looking for Jamar Chase.
If Chase is not the first option.
If Chase ain't the first option. If one of you other guys get open and I see you, I'm going to throw it there.
Yeah.
But if I don't see nobody open, I'm looking for Jamar Chase. You got possibly the best wide receiver in the league. It's arguable.
Yeah. Jamar, I'm always fucking open. Chase.
And he saw that interview and he took it to heart. Yeah. He said, you know what? If I ain't got no other option, I'm going to just throw it towards Jamar Chase and just see what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
23 targets. Jamar Chase pulled in 16 of them and got 161 yards receiving.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And a touchdown. And you won a division game against a very tough Steelers. Now, that put them in a better spot.
That gave him a little juice, man.
That gave him a lot of juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you see Mike Tomlin, he was not happy about that trade.
Oh, no, he was pissed.
He was pissed off at Cleveland, boy.
And you know what? I thought about it. I was like, Tomlin is so pissed, right? He was like, why would you trade to a division opponent and da-da-da-da-da?
Yeah.
But in a sneaky way, they might have made that trade to slow the Steelers down because they know they know that the Steelers was about to take off and just run away with this whole division. But it was like, you know what? If we make this trade within the division, the Ravens are kind of beat up. The Bengals need some help at quarterback.
It's collusion.
And they got a chance. They might have colluded that one just to slow the Steelers down. Yeah. So I understand why Tomlin's pissed. But
help me, help you, help us.
Basically, that's what the phone call was. And they got Joe Flacco on the Bengals, and he has been cooking. Another quarterback that has been cooking has been Drake Maye.
Oh yeah, Drake, man, solid.
This guy has made some of the prettiest passes you might see.
Deep down the field.
Passes, dropping it in the bucket. It is beautiful to watch him pass the football.
Yeah.
Drake Maye he outdid Tom Brady this past Sunday on 21 of 23, 91%, over 91% completion rating, which I believe what was said is that Tom Brady's highest was 88%. So he has had one of the most efficient games you've seen out of a Patriots quarterback. Well, the most efficient game statistically out of a Patriots quarterback ever. But making pretty passes, passing the ball down the field, winning games, and leading the division. They are now 5-2. Does this make him an MVP candidate?
I mean, he's in a conversation. I think, you got somebody down in Dallas and Dak Prescott that's, obviously with the loss at Baker Mayfield and that performance, that kind of slowed down his pace a little bit in the race. But, I mean, the performances
and
that
Josh
Dak's
Allen been
the performances that Dak been putting on been pretty damn good all year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, without him, I mean, most valuable player. That's what the MVP stands for. Without him, what is Dallas? You know what I'm saying?
And I'm just questioning, without Drake Maye, what would the Patriots be too?
Yeah.
So I mean, 5-2, leading the division unexpectedly over the Bills right now. The Bills just had a bye week, but they also coming off of 2 losses. So I mean, they got a crazy good chance at actually taking a division, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But they do have a great chance at doing it. So, I mean, that's just something to watch. But my more so takeaway from it was that these 2 quarterbacks and their dynamic on their team with Joe Flacco and Drake Maye, it put their teams in a much better position than they were expected to be given what was going on. The Bills coming out, performing, putting up points, scoring a lot. You don't expect the Patriots to ever be leading the division at any point of the season. Mm-hmm. And Joe Flacco going to that Bengals team with a atrocious offensive line, and we just didn't expect much out of the Bengals in the absence of Joe Burrow, but he come in and reinvigorate the team and, you know, managed to put a W on the board for the first time since Joe Burrow has went down. Mm-hmm. So I believe Joe Burrow went down in a game and Jake Browning finished. They won that game, but I don't think Jake Browning didn't win any games, and they had a close one in Joe Flacco's first one, but this one they pulled it off. So that was just pretty impressive takeaways for me and things to keep noted and keep in mind.
Yeah.
And it also kind of brought something to my attention for the next segment, so we might as well hop into it. It's another fun segment.
Hop into it.
Pretty important. It's a segment we like to call Besides the Eagles.
What is that, bro?
They be hollering, boy.
Oh,
But besides the Eagles, interestingly enough, and I wanted to get your take on it because we was just talking about they got juiced up and reinvigorated. Are the Bengals back into contender spot or pretender spot?
I'm not having that conversation about them being a contender just yet. Off of one win against the Steelers, no way.
And the only reason I ask this, right? They're back second in the division. You get Joe Burrow back maybe in another 5 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
If and only if, and their schedule has loosened up. Mm-hmm. They went through the hardest part of their schedule without Joe Burrow. Now Joe Flacco coming out and making some good plays, not complicating football, making some plays. You screen together a division win in a tough matchup, and you have a lighter part of your schedule coming back, and you getting your star quarterback at some point. Mm-hmm. Now, the only reason I question whether or not they could be legit contenders is because they are close in their division. And they got a light schedule, and they got somebody who can pass the football, despite having offensive line issues. I don't know.
I gotta see more, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta see more. That defense still gave up 30 points, so I'm not.
I mean, but the Steelers on a bad team.
Yeah, but right. I'm not.
But and characteristic of the Bengals, they've been able to win games by putting up more points than the other team.
Yeah.
It wasn't because the defense was just locked down, shutting down the other offense couldn't score. That's not how they really won games before. They won games off of the fact of y'all were able to score, but we could outscore you. And they kind of looked like that team this past week against a tough team. You know, and that was the part that draw some attention from me, just because of the simple fact of it wasn't like they didn't play a nobody.
Yeah. They played a division leader. It was a division matchup. They were at home, right? They were at home.
Yeah. But
so
you want to see more.
I need to see more out of it.
You want to see more out of the defense? What do you want to see?
I need to see more out of the whole entire team. I need to see if this can be consistent with Joe Flacco, because we've seen Joe Flacco with Cleveland have good games. We've seen him have shit games. We've seen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've seen the ups and downs with Joe Flacco. So I need to see a little bit more out of this team as a whole.
You also didn't have Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But I need to see it on a consistent basis. I'm not going to go ahead and punch my ticket in for them to be a contender just yet.
You know what? The best way I could describe it, off cam.
It's a cool story.
No, not even that. But the best way I could describe it, just like you were saying off cam about me and fantasy football. You said you got the best worst team. You got the best worst team in the league.
Best worst team in the league.
Right. It's like they've lost some games. They took some blows. They went down, but they are a scary team to play against because they can and do have the weapons necessary to beat you.
Right.
So it's like, I kind of want to push them to the back, but I don't at the same time because they might fuck around and beat us. And I think that's where the Bengals are at right now. They are one of those teams where it's like you could easily dismiss them based on the situation. And it's like, I want to see more before I take them serious.
Yeah.
But we clearly see that they got the pieces to be able to beat them. They even had a productive game out of Chase Brown.
Yeah.
Where has he been? They had a productive game out of Chase. He got 100 yards for the first time this season. Yeah. On top of Jamar Chase getting 161 yards receiving. On top of T. Higgins scoring a touchdown, which we haven't seen him do either. So my whole thing is just that these are characteristics of a team that contends. And you do that against a good team. So that's why they on my radar and they're on my list.
We'll put them on watch
list.
We'll put them on watch list. But we ain't punching tickets yet. We ain't stamping them yet. We got the stamp out, but it ain't there yet.
I ain't punching yet. Okay, I can take that.
Yeah, I don't trust Joe. Not yet.
Speaking of people that can't be trusted and tickets getting punched, let's go to another wonderful segment. Very important. Fan favorite segment of the show. A segment I think you're going to enjoy talking about to release some steam. It's a segment that we like to call Clock Out For Me, Big Dawg.
Yeah, time to punch that clock.
Time to punch that ticket that you just talking about. Punch him out, though.
Yeah.
Not in.
Out.
So, who you got clocking out for these people this week? Who needs to pack their shit and get out of here?
All right, so Shane Bowen, defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. Okay. Just a big defensive meltdown once again in a crucial moment.
So it sounds like we're parlaying this into another wonderful
segment. We're going to parlay it in a second.
Ask a Giants fan.
Yeah, ask a Giants fan. So this is a 2-1, okay?
Let's go ahead and just parlay them together.
But we're going to start with the clock out segment. Then we'll transition into...
Tell me more about the clock out.
So Shane Bowen, man. Okay, so we had this game against the Dallas Cowboys.
He said like you never heard of him.
Yeah, back long many moons ago. Okay.
Okay.
A game that the Giants should have won that game. But the defensive coordinator Shane Bowen decides to play very conservative versus being aggressive. Okay, allows Dallas to get in field goal range, kick the field goal, overtime. You know the story, right?
Yeah.
Well, how about we're in the same scenario once again? Towards the end of regulation, the Denver Broncos, Bo Nix, that in the offense, gets the ball.
Yes, they did.
And Shane Bowen decides to play a prevent defense, rush only 3 pass rushers.
He did.
And what happens? Bo Nix completes like a 15, 20-yard pass down the middle of the field.
They did.
What's happened on the next play? Another 15, 20-yard pass along the sideline. Puts them in field goal range, kicks the game-winning field goal. We lose by 1 point.
You put all those guys in that secondary and still got carved the fuck up.
So the thing is, Shane Bowen, you have all of these talented players on your defensive line. You had 2 starters that got banged up in the secondary with Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo. So you're going to put trash-ass DBs under a lot of pressure to defend in a prevent defense by not, what I just talked about earlier on the show, utilizing the pass rush to marry with the secondary play that we did not do. And this is the second time he did that this season, and it cost us a win. Now, Shane Bourne, you need to clock out. Tired of it. We need some more aggressive play. But now we're going to parlay, and we're going to transition into Ask a Giants Fan.
Yeah. Yeah. That was all in it.
So,
but go ahead.
This
it was
game,
a giant collapse.
I said this might have been the most embarrassing collapse that ever happened to a team besides the 28-3 Falcons because of the stage and the stakes.
Yeah.
If the stage and the stakes were the same, this might have been the worst collapse. To give up 33 points in the fourth quarter alone, it was 19-0 entering the fourth quarter. The Giants had full control of this game all the way throughout. At the 5-minute and 15-second mark in the fourth quarter, it was 26-8. How do you lose that game? Well, I'll tell you how. This is a complete failure on the coaching staff. Okay, Jackson Dart threw an interception. Fine. But the problem is you put him in that situation to throw the ball where you just run the ball, kill the clock, start burning the clock so that the Denver Broncos could use their timeouts. And now that the clock is against them.
Right.
You had 3 possessions to play with, essentially. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You burn their timeouts so they can be against the clock. But what do? We put the ball in Jackson Dart's hands. Don't have a problem with it, but don't throw the ball. Run it. Okay? Same thing. Another thing happened. So another possession. Denver ends up scoring. We get the ball. We have the ball back, and it's probably ahead of the 2-minute warning. We throw a pass deep down the field, stop the clock. Now Denver gets the ball back ahead of the 2-minute warning, so they get the 2-minute warning timeout when they already were out of timeouts. And this puts them in the position to score the touchdown that put them ahead before we get the ball back and score the touchdown that put us ahead. So it was just a giant collapse and bad clock management, bad coaching on the Giants offense. You know, Brian Daboll specifically, he has to take accountability for that. I
was about to say.
He has to take accountability for that.
He was talking about clocking out the defensive coordinator. But again,
yeah,
I feel like somehow we keep on grazing past Daboll.
Yeah, he keeps coming back up, too. He keeps coming back up.
Coming back up in the conversation for a reason.
Yeah.
And at some point, you're going to run out of people to scapegoat.
And to add to my clock out, Deonte Banks. Deonte Banks. He was our first-round draft pick a couple years ago. He lost his position to Cordell Flott. As a first-round draft pick, you shouldn't lose your starting position. But he is garbage. He is trash. Anytime that dude is in the game, he giving up a big pass. Even on the touchdown run, the second touchdown run, the Bo Nix on the outside, he is getting blocked outside. As a cornerback, this is grade school. You're taught to not give up the outside, the sideline. What does he do? He cuts inside, and then Bo Nix scrambles in for a touchdown. Bro, you're supposed to direct everything back inside to your team. So, Deonte Banks, it's time for you to go, bro. Anytime you're in the game, somebody's catching a big pass on you. Even the tip touchdown that Denver caught, that was on him. The pass on the sideline to put them in field goal range, that was on him.
I mean, the tip touchdown was kind of like...
But it was on him.
That was one of them.
When he's in the game, bad things happen.
Didn't y'all catch a tip touchdown too?
When Deonte Banks is in the game, bad things happen, bro. And I'm standing on that. He needs to go, man. So with that being said, man, it's just a bad coaching, bad time management, bad clock management, bad play calling, decision making, the whole 9 for a giant meltdown on the road in Denver in altitude. Literally, we're supposed to be like 4-3 right now.
Yeah,
we could be 4-3 or 3-4.
You could
at the bare minimum.
Well, moving forward, clearly you had some things to get off your chest about the Giants. Probably making an argument that they probably could have won 5 games by now, but
The worst. That was a tough pill to swallow, bro.
But we're gonna move forward. Let's go ahead and get into week 8. That was a tough pill to swallow, but hopefully week 8 goes a little better. So we're gonna get into a little segment we like to call MustSeeTV.
You gotta see it.
These folks got
These folks,
no cap.
folks got to see this. No cap. But what's on your radar coming into week 8 of the NFL season? What's on your radar? What's something that these folks definitely need to see and that they need to watch?
Yeah, I got the first game up there is the Packers and the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers playing his former team.
Yeah, definitely probably the best game.
Steelers
Most
coming off of a
competitive.
loss. Green Bay coming off of like an iffy win.
Yeah,
You know,
damn near loss.
Yeah, iffy win.
Didn't cover.
Right. So I'm curious to see kind of what this matchup will look like. Yeah, it's crazy. They came off that. I mean, that win was against the Cardinals. Cardinals without Kyler Murray. I don't know how they figured it. You know, they were competitive. They compete.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, he had a day. Trey McBride had a day.
Crazy work.
But yeah, this game is. I'm curious to see. Just kind of, it's going to be one of those emotional games. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. He's not one of those players. It's not going to be at Green Bay. I don't think. I think it's in Pittsburgh. But nevertheless, I want to see kind of the response. He has against Green Bay. I think he's going to be out for blood. We know Aaron Rodgers always has this chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he always mad about something.
He is kind of like how they always used
Internally,
to say.
he just be mad about.
They used
something.
to say, who was it? Was it Jordan? Used to always like make up stories about. You know what I'm saying?
It makes sense.
Yeah, so I feel like Aaron Rodgers kind of has this little chip.
My mother?
Yeah, he has this chip on his shoulder to kind of prove that he's that guy still. You know what I mean? Because they tossed him out like some old chicken cutlet, and got Jordan Love in there. So I'm pretty sure he got some things to get off his chest, to show in this game. So
and you got 2 prolific pass rushers on both defenses.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, Aaron Rodgers' history with the Packers. But also the Packers have just been a little bit off with the exception of maybe Josh Jacobs and Matthew Golden. I don't know. They just seem like they've been able to win
but
certain games, but they
games
just
have been,
it's just a little off looking. And I expected them to play better coming out of the bye. Mm-hmm. You guys coming off of a bye week against the Cardinals, like a banged up Cardinals at that. Like I'm just expecting a better performance out of them. So going against a good team, coming off of a loss in a game where I know the Steelers feel like they should have won. That's not that great for the Packers. So this one is interesting, even though it is a very close matchup between 2 good teams. It's just something feels a little bit off about the Pack right now. So that's something to keep in mind and monitor. Another 2 games that I'm thinking about. Now they might not necessarily be must see for the same reason, but I think it is must see for one because the Eagles got embarrassed by the Giants a couple weeks ago. Yeah. The Giants really went out there in their home game and they really just flat out kicked the Eagles' ass. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah. However, the Eagles are getting a revenge game at home this time. So I'm curious to see how the Eagles bounce back against the Giants in their home game. And can the Giants bounce back from that big collapse what they just had against Denver?
Can they is the question.
So this one is a very interesting matchup. The point spread is like 7, which I feel like is high. But
I don't know. I think it's right.
But we thought it was right last time, but we didn't know it was on the wrong side. So that one's very interesting. And then this Ravens and Bears game is also interesting to me because the Ravens have been quite atrocious. But
I mean, no Lamar Jackson. I mean, that just shows you the impact.
No Lamar, no dub. Like, it's the reason why this man won MVP a couple seasons ago and arguably could have had it last season. But It's reported that he may be back off of the bye week. We gonna see how the practices
just some
and
hamstrings,
stuff come.
man. Those tough injuries, right?
Hamstring is like I don't know. That's just ACL-ish these days. Like,
that would seem like.
But he's projected to possibly come back. This game is looking good. It's shaping up for him to come back. We gonna see, like I said, if they have practice on Wednesday, does he show up for practice on Wednesday, and does he fully participate? If he does, it's gonna look even better, even if it's limited. So Lamar Jackson going against the Bears, this is probably a good spot for him to return. So we're gonna see. I just feel like that's must-see TV. How do they look once they get Lamar Jackson back? Because I mean, they've been struggling bad.
Yeah, and
real
the Bears
bad.
been rolling.
And the Bears have been kind of rolling. So I'm interested to see how this turns out.
Yeah.
But probably time to go ahead and get into one of the most important parts of the show, a reason why some people come to this show, and that is Best Bets.
Give them what they're asking for.
Put some chips on the table, stack them up, let them drop, and see where they fall. Mm-hmm. Now, last week, you had a good bounce back week. You went 2-1.
Yeah.
And I think you used the Monstars ball and took some of my talents because I went 0-3.
Woo.
Yeah. Without saying that was BS. But brings you to a grand total of 9-9. You're back at 500.
Back at 500. We're going over this
and
weekend.
it puts me at 10-7-1. So I'm still above 500. Easy. We're gonna audible out of that bullshit, and we're gonna take it up a notch this week. It's gonna be all right. But tell the people what you got. Who's on your radar? What's your best bets for week 8 of the NFL season?
All right, gang. We about to run this thing. We're gonna go clean 3-0 this week. I know I say it every week, but that's how I feel.
You was close.
But I'm taking the first bet of the week. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings plus 3.5. They're playing the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay. I like the feisty Vikings. Defensive team, even though it didn't look like that against the Eagles. But I think they bounced back this week against the Chargers.
Speaking of the Minnesota Vikings, they look like they got Batman and that man at wide receiver. Because Addison had a day against the Eagles. They just couldn't get enough stops, unfortunately, on defense to be able to knock it out. But Addison was really cooking.
If Carson Wentz doesn't throw the 2 picks, it could be a different scenario. You know what I mean? But neither here nor there. But I'm taking the Vikings plus 3.5.
I understand.
Against
As
the Chargers.
a Chargers fan, I understand.
Chargers don't have those elite receivers that the Philadelphia Eagles have. So I think
they got receivers, bro.
Elite. That's why I said elite. I didn't say they don't have receivers. I said they don't have elite receivers. Okay. You can't compare those two class of receivers. Sorry.
It's more so the issue is that Joe Alt is still out. And that offensive line is not giving the receivers enough time.
Brian Flores, bring the pressure.
If he brings pressure, I agree.
Yeah. So give me the Vikings plus 3.5.
Yeah.
My next bet is going to be the Dallas Cowboys plus 3.5 playing Denver, the Denver Broncos. We kind of just saw what the New York Giants did to Denver. We've been seeing what Dallas been doing to everybody.
They got CeeDee Lamb and they got George Pickens. At the same time, it's scary.
And they got a decent little run game with Javonte Williams. So it's they got a decent offense. They're scoring 30 points a game. 30 points a game. And nobody can seem to stop them. So I think that continues.
NFL YoungBoy is a monster on the other side.
I think that continues. Denver's defense didn't look good against the Giants.
And didn't we have a debate about that over the weekend just amongst friends?
Didn't look good.
You was talking about this Denver defense. I'm like, man, listen, Surtain
and nor did
good,
the offense. The offense didn't look good either. So can Bo Nix keep up with the scoring of the Dallas Cowboys? I don't think so. Give me the Dallas Cowboys plus 3.5. My last bet is going to be Pittsburgh plus 3 versus Green Bay. Pittsburgh at home. We already talked about this a little bit. Aaron Rodgers chip on his shoulder. Pittsburgh, they got a little bit coming off of a loss. And Mike Tomlin is good coming off a loss, especially being at home. Home dog coming off a loss, Mike Tomlin. I like that bet every single time. Green Bay hasn't been looking that great. Pittsburgh been getting a little bit of a run game with Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren. So I like that from Pittsburgh to complement some of the pass game. They do need to get DK involved a little bit more.
They tried. He took one of them, though.
Yeah, they tried.
Snatched it right out of his hand.
But it's going to be that matchup in the trenches that's going to dictate this game. You know, who can get to the opposing team's quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So that's what I'm looking at. So Minnesota plus 3.5, Dallas plus 3.5, and Pittsburgh plus 3.
Not mad at it. It's a lot of high point spreads this week. You went in the direction of a lot of the low ones.
I went kind of safe.
But they covered. You got them covering a lot. So, I mean, I can see that.
I'm on the dog side of things.
For me, I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 4.5 versus the New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay did not look great against the Detroit Lions. However, the New Orleans Saints generally don't look great against anybody. They had one good game against the Giants, and I feel like in my spirit it just tells me they'll have one good game against the Falcons, just because they hate us. And I don't think this is a good spot for them against Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay coming off of that loss, pissed off. Just lost Mike Evans, but you still got Ibuka. Tez Johnson is emerging as a very strong target. And then we're going to see where they at with Chris Godwin and some of those other guys. But he passed the ball a lot to Cade Otton.
Well, the thing is, they need to run the football. They ran the ball 11 times and threw the ball probably 60.
Well, they was losing. They was losing though.
I get it, but geez, Louise, you can't get you can't Detroit just teed off on them, bro. 50 plus pass attempts and 11 rushes. That's a lot of imbalance.
I think going into the game, you think Detroit's secondary is banged up, so you kind of plan to pass a little bit more than run to take advantage of that. But that secondary just ain't going.
Yeah, if they can get a little bit more balance, I can see them winning the game.
But I think they can definitely balance out the offense against the New Orleans Saints in a division matchup. I'm gonna go with the stronger team. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one to beat the Saints by 4.5. Even though I don't love that particular number, but I think the Bucs can do it against the Saints. Another one, I'm going to go with another strong team that's been having strong outings. We touched on them earlier, but give me the New England Patriots. 7 is a lot. But I'm going to take New England Patriots minus 7 against the Cleveland Browns because outside of Junkins, them boys been brown. The Browns just been browning.
Defense did good too.
Defense has done solid, but to the credit of the New England Patriots, they've been working very well with Drake May, putting him in good positions, and when he gets the opportunity to make a good, beautiful pass, he makes it. And he's been finding different wide receivers to make plays. And then, the run game has also been pretty decent. They've been able to interchange a couple running backs, but, Stevenson can move the ball when they need him to get a decent amount of yardage, and Drake May is just going to come in and clean up the rest. So I think that puts the Patriots in a good position to possibly be able to cover 7 on this one against the Browns. And the last one I'm going to take, I'm gonna ride this thing out. I'm gonna see if these Cincinnati Bengals can cover minus 7 against the terrible Jets.
Awful.
The Jets, they just can't score.
They can't do anything.
They down Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson done got hurt. Justin Fields done got hurt. You had Tyrod in there. I don't know if that does anything to make it any better. What does that leave? Breece Hall? And there's some trade rumors on Breece Hall too. So look, I just don't see it. The Jets, at this point, might as well just pack it up. You might as well start looking at who's that guy in college right now and see if we can go get him. Yeah. Because you got a lot of positions of need, and whoever's the top dog, you should just go after that.
They need a quarterback.
Just go after that. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -4.5, the New England Patriots -7, and the Cincinnati Bengals versus the goddamn Jets for -7. And those are our best bets. That actually don't look too bad as a teaser. Might have to run that. That might be a teaser alert for y'all. But before we go, there's one more thing we need to tell the people, and these folks still need to know. What is your dog of the week? Who's barking?
Well, I find them dogs that be barking.
You found a dog last week.
Found a dog last week.
The
Where
Colts,
I'm at this year.
You are now at your
3-3.
Colts won, so you won last week. My dog did not bark, but that puts you at a grand total of 3-3 for the season. That puts me at 2-4 for the season. Yeah. So you're right there. You have 500 on your best bets. You have 500 on your dogs.
Let's go. This week, write it down. Go to your books. Lock it in. The Chicago Bears are the underdog of the week. They on a 4-game win streak. I like what I've been seeing. Primarily, the run game.
Swift has been going crazy.
The run game
Swift been
against
going
this
crazy.
Baltimore Ravens defense.
Yeah.
I think that's where the edge is for the Chicago Bears. They haven't been asking Caleb Williams to do Superman shit. Ben Johnson kind of
making a couple
him
plays, but he did reel him in.
Yeah, Ben Johnson kind of reeled him in a little bit. They're doing a lot more check downs. Throw it Swift, check down right here, screen over here. Running the football. So I like the Chicago Bears to be the underdog of the week.
I'm not mad at that against
with
the
or
Ravens.
without Lamar.
I'm not mad at it because the defense has just been consistently bad for the Ravens. So I'm not mad at that. Ben Johnson is one of the most creative play callers we know in the league. So,
and the Bears defense been playing too. They've been playing a little ball.
They've been playing a little ball, but I think DeAndre Swift been making some plays, and playing extremely well. And like you said, it's a good matchup for him. So I like that one. I'm gonna go with Tomlin off a loss against an iffy pack, against a winning but kind of weird wins Packers. Give me the Steelers as the dog of the week this week. I think not only do they cover, I think they actually win against Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers, likes to create a chip on his shoulder even if it ain't there. Yeah. Going against his old team, he was like, they called me a bitch while I was walking out or something. I don't know what's in his head, but I think DK comes out and has a better game. I think they just play Steelers football in this game, and I think Tomlin comes up with a great scheme and game plan to bounce back off of that loss. So give me the Steelers as the dog of the week, man. I think they come out here and do it against the Packers.
I ain't mad at it. I like it.
So, yeah, man, but that's all we got. So,
nothing else for you.
Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you keep talking in the comments. Talk to us, we talk back. Shoot us a slip. I give a feedback on them. I might even tell it. I don't mind sharing. Sharing is care. Make sure you follow us on the gram. It'll be right here. Anything else you want to tell the people, man?
Parlays. Making
money line plays. May all these bets continue to pay because I need that money today. Y'all be safe. Y'all stay tuned in. We got more to come. Basketball is also back. So if these bets are pissing you off, you also got some NBA action to piss you off too. And you got a little bit of baseball left to piss you off too. So it's a lot of things what you could do to be pissed off, but hopefully you won't be. Hopefully you'll have a great day and a great night and bet. And if you want to win, put our bets in. Peace out.
Peace. From the Middle East.